Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Walnut Lodge, Volant location. This is the Saturday morning flow. We're 8:30. The sun is shining. It's a little chilly, but here we are at the end of the third week of our intensives. So one more week to go. I hope you're all doing pretty well. I know that some of you out there are kind of sore, and that's going to happen. What we're going to do today, we're going to go to the cats. All right? Now, we have been working in foundations. We've been working on this kind of warm-up arm flow. And what you can see in that, if you've been following along, is that that is kind of where the cat started. So that the breakdown and all those positional stuff, it took us how long to even get there? Pretty much 8 weeks of 4 days a week. Well, 7 weeks of 4 days a week. So today what we're going to do, we're going to go to the regular cats. I don't know how much I'll get through it, but what you're going to see after doing the foundation work is how the cats then become this, especially the first two parts of it, become this pranayama. So we're really focused on then how the breath interacts with all of those positions, assuming that you know all those positions. And if you've been with me, excuse me, for the last 4 weeks, then you know all those positions. It should be interesting. All right, so we're going to need a bolster for later and possibly a block or two. I don't know if I'll get to this. Sometimes I have these big ideas and they just don't pan out because I take too much time. But I definitely will get to one or the other. All right? And then later on we will go to a wall and do the half handstands. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so starting in a nice extended child. Just checking in with your shoulders and your back. A little sore, but they're settling in. Nice big inhales. Alrighty, come on up to table, and we're going to turn our fingers in, spread them wide, nice long spine, and inhale, tuck the chin, pull your pubic bone, press away from your hands. Exhale all of the air. Feel that lower stomach lift. The inhale returns you to a long spine. And then flex the ankles. Exhale, push open on the elbows. Pull the shoulder blades down. Reach the collarbones forward. Get as much of an upper back extension as you can. That's an exhale also, and the inhale returns you to long spine. Exhale, push. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Use Ujjayi breath if you can. Exhale, push. Feel the chin pull. Feel that tailbone. Reach through the legs and pull up to your face. And then on the inhale, you're just going to breathe. And everything kind of returns to where it needs to be. Exhale, arch, chest lift, shoulders down, flex. Reach your rib cage forward. Inhale, return to the flat back. Exhale, push. Point your feet if you can. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch, flex. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen and rotate the fingers open, wrists together. And exhale, tuck the chin and push. Point your feet, just getting the calves and the ankles into the movements. Feeling the end of that line. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch, rotate the elbows open. Push them over the fingers, shoulder blades down. Chest is reaching. Feet are flexing. Inhale, returns you to long back. And exhale, pull. Inhale. Exhale, arch. Inhale. Exhale, curl. Inhale. Exhale, arch. Try to push your sit bones nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale, curl. Point your feet. Feel the bottoms of your feet. Feel the sit bones driving down into your legs. As you do this pulling of your belly, inhale, lengthen. Now when you flex your feet. Try to pull your little toes, if you can, towards the outsides of your knees as you push your chest. It's a lot of stuff, I know. Feel the sit bones go really wide. Keep pressing down and reaching. Feel the armpits. Try to go forward of the chest. And inhale, lengthen. One more. Exhale, push. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Rotate your fingers back. Exhale, push away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Flex, little toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Inhale, lengthen. Last one. Exhale, push. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arch. Stay there. Move your knees up. Sit back. Press the base of your fingers and your thumb into the ground. Try to peel the hands just a little bit more. And release that. Woo! Right? Rotate. So at first they felt really good. It's just the length of the time you spend there. Rotating one way and then the other way. So the cats, you know, the cats are really about trying to get that whole arm, shoulder, chest thing going for upside down stuff. So the foundations, you know, we're just doing forward and back. And here we're really trying to work those in-between positions because you never know what's going to happen in the middle of a handstand, right? All right, so, woo, look at that sun coming in. Very cool. Backs of the hands to the floor. You missed it, James. Straighten the elbows. Make a fist, monkey hands. Just allow that to stretch. And then release that. Rotate. Yeah. All right, so we're going to do the other hand stretch. This is an addition to the cat series before we get out into the big cats. All right, so we're going to sit. We're going to interlace our fingers. And behind our back, our arms are going to look like this. All right, so our elbows are bent to the outside, and then our thumbs will be pointing towards our back. All right, so you're going to interlace behind your back. Sorry, your thumbs are going to be pointing away from your back. Right now, they're towards your back. You're going to take your thumbs up to the ceiling and then away from you, and then put your hands down. All right, now, the base of my index fingers are not on the ground. I'm going to move my hands back until I feel like I can get a good shoulder stretch if I push my chest up. So I'm going to get to that place, push my hands into the floor, try to get the index finger down, push your chest forward, find the front of that, excuse me, the front of that shoulder and the front of that arm stretch. And then just breathe here. If you feel that the shoulder stretch is easing up, like you don't have any more of a shoulder stretch, wiggle your butt forward. Keep pushing the ribs forward and up. Just keep your chin dropped down. Keep pressing into your hands, trying to get the elbows as straight as possible. So these are 1 minute holds. So just keep pushing the chest up. Now, if you have your index finger and thumb flat on the ground, then you're going to continue here for another minute. You might want to wiggle your butt more forward and get a bigger front of the chest stretch. For those of us that can't get that index finger down, what we're going to do now is just open the hands a bit until you can get your index finger down and push. So you feel a different stretch in that lower arm, right? And breathe. Just keep the chest stretch going. Keep lifting up and pushing. You're halfway done with the second part. So you can feel how it's stretching it's weirdly in the rotation of the lower arm into the hand. Right? The wrist is super complex. Sometimes you don't know which degree, which part of that rotation is causing you the restriction. All right, but between what we just did and the two of these, it pretty much gets all of them. All right, so you're going to release that. Come forward, let the wrist go. All right, take them forward. And so I feel this from the outer edge of the wrist down the outside of the arm. All right, so it's the ulnar section, and the radius is going to kind of roll over that. So it's up the side of my arm. So we're just going to rotate. One way and the other. See, and after the cats and these, my wrists are starting to feel really fluid. All right, now the last one, you're going to interlace, and then you're going to take your palms and go out. The elbows will be facing back. All right, I can't do this one with my hands interlaced behind my back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that angle, and then I'm going to open them. All right, so my hands will be trying to rotate in like this behind my back. I'm not going to get there, and then I'm just going to press that. If you can do this and put your hands there, that's what you do. So hands behind your back. So you're going to take your thumb and you're going to go down and then out, right? Down and then out. And then if you're hyperextended in the elbow like I am, you're going to bend your elbows towards one another, lift your chest, and just let the wrist stretch at that place. I know some of you can do this pretty easily, but even people that can do this easily, pay attention to your elbows. Don't just let them lock out and push into them. Bend them a little bit, and as you bend them, you'll get a little bit more chest lift and then you can put a little bit of weight on them. You want to kind of lean on them, right? The leaning on them is going to make the stretch actually easier in one way. So just keep breathing that chest up. Pushing, you know, if you keep the sustained push, keep breathing, all of a sudden you find little places that let go, and then you're just going to breathe and lift into those places. Chest is going nice and high. Elbows are pulling in. Just another 10 seconds here. So just lift up. And release. And that's a whole new place. Yeah. So, you know, we don't really walk around on our hands much. But when we're going to start adding arm balances to things, you know, and if you're over 40, you have to really say hello to all those tissues. You know, so what we've done is we've put them on a stretch, and then we just kind of work and breathe into them. And then, you know, first you have to have mobility, and then we can, you know, develop strength in that. But then when you're done, you know, what I feel is just no restrictions in either direction with my hand rotation. So we're going to rotate here for another 30 seconds or so, one way and then the other. So just keep going. And then also kind of what happens if you keep rotating the wrists, try to make the biggest circles that you can, right? One way and then the other. You know, they'll get tired after a while. A lot of us don't do much with our lower arm and our hands, right? Especially like this. One more, one way. And then the other. Shake that out. All right. So that's the little cats with the new arm stretch. So now we're going to go into the big cats. Mr. Williman, do you think you could get me a glass of water and just stick it here by the chair? I'm sorry, I totally forgot. Thank you. All right. So reaching those hands forward, pulling back into the extended child, relaxing into the hip sockets. I'm just going to give us a minute here. Feel your hands and wrists. You know, mine are pulsing. You can feel the blood going in. They're getting nice and warm. Actually, you can feel the elbows doing the same thing. All right, exhale the air. And then, you know, pull with your tailbone. It's an inhale, a little different, but on this first round, we are going to hold these positions. So your knees are bent, ankles are extended, tailbone is pulling up into your spine. Shoulders are open, pushing into the ground. Actually, my hands are a little too far forward. Couple breaths here, just because what we're trying to do is really feel that nice long back, because we're going to hold the pelvis, and then we're going to inhale and push the chest forward. So exhale, right? And then inhale, chest forward, pull the stomach, inhale, chest forward, pull the stomach, inhale, reach the ribs, exhale, pull the stomach, sit bones down, inhale, reach the ribs, exhale, pull, and then inhale, lift the tailbone, tuck your toes under, and sit back. All right, so we've been doing this in the foundations class. Ankle bones are together. We're going to hold this. Just push your heels back. Try to catch the stretch underneath your Achilles tendon. Feel the whole bottom of the foot start to open because the toes are tucked under so much. And then we're going to inhale, exhale, tuck your chin a bit, and press back to a down dog. So your focus is towards your belly button. Feel your fingers. Roll the thighs in. Lift the toes up off of your mat. Try to roll the thighs in a little bit more. We're pulling the quads up. So we're working on that. So I can't really get a nice concave line from my hips to my hands yet. Just feel the rotation. I have to really work on that. Staying here a couple more breaths, rotating in, pulling the quads. Keep the fingers engaged. Inhale, press up as high as you can on the balls of your feet. So push the toes into the floor, roll the thighs in again, feeling those ankle bones coming towards one another. Take another inhale, and then on the exhale, push away from your hands. Push your waist up to the ceiling. So you're trying to tuck the tailbone under. Don't have much curve, but you're still engaged there as you push back. So we're trying to do a small cat here at the top of this. Just take one more inhale, exhale, waist up, push your head in. Now lift your tailbone. That's going to change the curve of your back. Reach your head forward, and then exhale, press through the heels. Keep reaching your sternum. If that doesn't feel good on your neck, just keep your neck long, but still reach your sternum. So it's the sternum and the ribs reaching forward, kneecaps lift, thighs roll in, heels are trying to reach. So this really is trying to look like that cat stretch or the dog stretch. And bend the knees and sit back. So we're going to sit back here and just give your wrists a little bit of a break because that was a long time. And then we're going to do 4 more, but we're going to put the breath to it. All right, and it's a lot of stuff. That's why the small cats and the big cats for me, they can be nothing, or they can be super engaging and super difficult. Depends on what your level of awareness and technique is. All right, and so just to follow up on that statement, just remember that your level of technique doesn't mean that you can do one-handed like handstands. What it means is that you can feel all the parts of everything and connect to things. That's what we're going for. All right, reach the hands forward, pull back, exhale all of your air. And then inhale, pull out, pull that tailbone. Exhale, pull the stomach and reach the chest forward. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the toes. Exhale, sit bones back. Feel that fold. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck your chin. Exhale, push back, down dog. Inhale, up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, push away from the hands, pull your nose towards your belly. Inhale, lengthen. Feel the chest lift. Exhale. Press the heels, roll the thighs in. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push your chest, pull your belly. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the toes. Exhale, press back to the full. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the chin. Exhale, press back, down dog, roll the thighs in. Inhale, up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, lengthen. Lift the chest. Exhale, heels and armpits towards the floor, knees up. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, squash back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, stomach up, chest reach, flex. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the toes. Exhale, squash back. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the chin. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, curling in, curling in, curling in. Inhale, lengthen and lift the chest. Exhale, press through the heels, make sure you feel your fingers. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, squash back. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chest, stomach up. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the toes. Exhale, squash back. Inhale, lift the waist, tuck the chin. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, change the spine, look up. Exhale, pull the belly up against the spine. Flex, heels pushing, armpits pushing. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, come down, and then just sit. Breathe. Breathe and feel the circulation. All right. Going on to the next part. So if your shoulders are starting to get tired, if your hands have had enough, then just do parts of these, or don't hold them as long. I'm not going to hold them very long today, because we haven't been doing cats on a regular basis, and I don't want to, push too much today, because I know that people are, kind of recovering from the week. I always have found that just even these two parts, the small cats and the big cats, part of this series, are really a nice way to kind of get rid of your soreness and, you know, kind of get your body back to flowing. You know, right now I don't feel much tension anywhere. All right, so next part, hands forward, tuck the toes, press it back. All right, now we're gonna go slow. So shift your weight to your right leg and then pull your left leg in. Inhale and then exhale. Push the armpits, push both heels, keep your hips down. Try to find a long line. Don't let anything lift. So you're trying to find the stretch on the outside of the hip. Now, it seems weird to exhale here, but you're trying to engage the abdominals to keep that long back. So then we inhale, keep your stomach, but let the ribs stretch. And then exhale, push out. Inhale and exhale, push out. Inhale and exhale, push out. One more slow. Inhale and exhale, push out. If you're new to this, keep going slow. If not, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Lift the hip. Roll. So you can kind of de-weight that left hand. Roll as high as you can. Keep that ankle flexed. Work on that standing hip. It's pushing forward. Breathe. Then push out that heel. Inhale. Now pull that leg towards the front. And then inhale. Let it go back. Exhale. Pull. Inhale. Push. Exhale. Pull. And let this come from the arms. Push. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. The weight shifts to the left hand, to the right hand. Inhale. Exhale. This is the speed we're going to go. Inhale. Inhale. Couple more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Push your hands. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Bend the knee. Put the right elbow down on the mat. Push the elbow into the ground. Push that right heel into the ground. Push that left knee up. Relax your neck. Relax the ankle. It's a really good calf stretch. And then just keep pushing that hip forward. Try to keep that line going from your elbow to your left knee. Keep breathing. All right, we're going to push up and out of this. Come back up. Drop your hip. All right, now come down to your mat. Chest down. Hands here. Pull the knee in. Preparation for locust. Breathe. If you don't like this, just go to a flat body and lift the leg up. Breathe. Pull with your right knee. Push away from your shoulders. Keep pushing your chest into the ground, into the shoulders. Keep the stomach lifted. And then hands by your chest. Push back, tuck the toe, stretch back, leg down. Down dog, drop your head. Breathe. And come on down to sit. Breathe. And possibly get a drink. All right, so we're going to go to the other side. Now, especially the movement of the leg to the side, you know, the weight shifting from one arm to the other. I could really feel that today because my arms are a little sore. And, you know, the hip motion, you're trying to really kind of go through that rotation through the waist, with that leg throwing forward and back to warm up that rotation. And then again, the first part, the knee in and out, that kick, is to really try to attach that kick to an upward pull of the stomach while you push through the arms. It's pretty complicated. Takes a long time to teach. But it's all to kind of save yourself if you're doing, you know, handstands and work like that, because you really want to kind of cover the bases, because sometimes you fall. All right, going to the other side. Tuck the toes, press back, down dog. Feel your fingers. And remember too, we're not going to push from the heels of our hands. We're pushing our fingers into the mat. So if you've been in my foundations class, you know, this is how we start. You know, we start with the hand stretches, but then with the fingers pushing. All right, right knee comes into the nose or close on the inhale. And then exhale, push it back. I have to move. Extend, lift your stomach up. And slowly again, inhale. Exhale, push. Make sure the weight on that left leg is even, 3 points still. I have to really pay attention to this leg. Inhale, exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, push. Couple more slow. Inhale, feel that stomach. Exhale, stomach up as you reach through the heel. Inhale. Exhale, push. One more. Inhale. Exhale, push. Faster if you want. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, 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 inhale, last one, inhale, exhale, lift the hip, de-weight that right hand, roll. Up on that left leg. Think half moon. Keep pushing through that right heel, pushing into that left leg. Breathe. Keep pushing the inside of that Left hip socket forward. And then we go. Inhale, exhale, side. Inhale up, 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 exhale, side. Last one. Inhale up. Stay there. Left elbow down. Bend the knee. Push. Breathe. Coming back up. Bend the knee, come down onto your chest. Half locust. Breathe. Pull that left knee in. Hands over top, push, up and back, leg down, and relax your head, just kind of an easy, hangy, down dog. And come on down to sit. Breathe. Okay. So, how are we doing? Good? All right. Now, we're going to go to a wall. And if you don't have, well, actually everybody has a wall. And some of you might need a chair, but probably not. I think Ron is out there. Ron will know what to do. We're doing Ron's favorite quad stretch. Now, when I set this up, if you don't want to do this, then what you're going to do is a half reclining hero with a bolster. So that's just one leg back, heel up against your thigh, grab your bolster, put it behind you, and lay down. Actually, why don't we just all do that as kind of a warm-up? So we'll do that, then we'll go to the quad stretch. Is this half reclining hero a quad stretch? Why, yes it is. But it's just a little quad stretch, right? So put your bolster back behind you, unless you don't want to use a bolster. If you have a really easy hero, just put your leg in a hero and lay on back, all right? So we're just going to be here for a minute or so. I'm going to hold my head up here so I can talk a little bit better. But if your quad is really tight, and you can be up on your elbows, you're trying to pull the inside of that knee towards the ground. You know, the thighs rolled in, so you're getting the outside quad more than the inside, right? Actually, you're getting the outside. So you could feel that. Some of you, feel that stretch through the ankle. So if you can pull the inner thigh and get that knee down, you'll feel a little more stretch across your hip. And so as you settle into it, maybe that is something that is going to be is good for you, right? So we're just going to hang back, let your spine stretch. It does feel really good. Keep pulling. Keep relaxing. One of the nice things about doing a stretch like this, it's not that hard. So you have time to try to figure out where you're pulling, where you're holding. And I'm talking about it now because I had just this weird pull of my left rib down to my waist. What do you need that for? Well, you don't. So as you're laying here, just keep breathing and letting things go till you feel like you're just laying there without any kind of restrictions. And then roll to your right side. Stretch that knee, pull the quad, and then come up to sitting and change legs. So right knee in, hip down, lay back, try to pull the inside of your right leg down to the ground or whatever leg you're working, and relax. And roll to your left side, straighten the knee. and then come on up, but we're going to come up and then just go right into a child pose, just to let your spine go the other way. And then roll yourself up. All right, so we're going to make our transition to a wall, but we're not going to do that quad stretch first. First, we're going to start off with just a short version of the Warrior 3 work, and then we'll go back to this. All right, so come on up to standing, and then just move yourself to a wall. All right. This is actually for later. Yeah, next part. All right, so grab your bolster and put it right here. Now, some people don't need a bolster. What's the bolster for? The bolster is for putting your hands on. So you could use blocks. So we're going to stand on our right leg. You're going to put your left leg on the wall. It needs to be back behind you enough, the wall, so that you feel like you could push from your front leg to your back leg. Doesn't have to be higher than the hip. You'd like it to be straight. And then the first thing we're doing is we're pushing into that standing leg to keep the pressure of that foot into the wall. Now, I want your leg to be straight here in the front. That's why you can use a bolster or blocks, because our leg is on a stretch here. The hip is back behind the foot. So my foot is in front of my hip. That's the way that I can keep the pressure of my back foot on the wall. Now, most of you out there I know have already done this, so I'm not going to talk any more about that. So just keep pushing. And we haven't been here for a long time. But people doing my foundations intensive, you can feel that back hip opening just like it does in all the work underneath, with our feet underneath our couches. And then why I'm doing this is to see, for those of you out there, and I need you to tell me about this, bend your knee, hands on your thigh, and extend. How does your back feel? Does it feel like all of those back extension exercises have just given you the ability to be up here pretty easily? So keep pushing, chest forward, shoulder blades down. Actually, probably what is going to be grousing on you is the outside of that right hip. If you're good here, hands underneath your chest, push. If you can, reach your hands forward 4 breaths. Breathe. Hands down. Come off the bolster and sit. Yeah, so we haven't really done much work across the outside of that hip in the foundations class. A little bit of that next week. And I know this angle isn't the best, but it's the only place I can really do this. But I'm looking at the names, and yeah, everybody on that list has done this, I think, except for maybe Babs. It's always a really nice thing to go back to. It's kind of like coming home. All right, just sitting here another 30 seconds or so. So when I'm talking about the outside of the hip, I'm talking just right here, from your glute across to the crest. And that's why we're doing it, because the outside of the hip can get weak on us. All right, so if all we ever get out of this exercise is the level pelvis with work to the outside of that hip, it's definitely, worth your time. And if you can't take your hands off the bolster, no big deal, right? You'll still get that. It won't be quite as intense. So the 3 positions: hands on the bolster, hands on your thighs, hands here, and then extending up if you're going to go for the last one. It just makes the work harder. It doesn't change it though. It's the same line of work. All right, so now we're going to go to the other leg. So standing on your left leg, pushing that right foot into the wall, and your hip is down. Hip is down. How do you know if your hip's down? Well, lift it up and then roll it down. And I know some of you cannot feel that, but that's why you come to class, right? So that I can tell you about your position. So we're just going to hold this, pushing from our front foot into our back foot, feeling that hip drop, feeling the stretch in the back of that left leg. I feel more calf than hamstring at first, and then keep dropping that right hip so that you start to feel this outside start to stretch. I don't really feel it too much until I go to the next position. So remember, we're pushing into that left leg to maintain the force back onto that right leg. Then bend that left leg, hands on your knee, push from that foot to the back foot, from left foot to right foot, extend your spine. Use this position to get that opposition of inhale, chest forward, exhale, shoulder blades down. Keep your belly lifted. Keep pushing out. Hands underneath your chest. Breathe. Forward. Breathe. Hands down. Take your foot off the wall. And then come down to the squat. Breathe. Feels good.
Corey said that?
What?
Corey said back felt good, felt in right hip.
Ooh. Thank you, Corey, for your comment. Corey said she felt it in her back felt good and she felt it in the hip. Yeah. I love the back extension exercises with the feet underneath the couch. Doesn't take long. Works everything in the right line. Gets the glute. All right, just another couple breaths here. Do you have to be sitting like this? No, you don't. You can pretty much do whatever. So if Kim Ellis is out there, what she's doing, and I call this the Kimmy Coo, she just lays out here like this, with her hips on her bolster. Actually, that feels really good. But she has these really open hips. So, what's right for you? Well, sometimes I don't know, right? Hopefully I know what's right for me. But that's what's really fun about teaching all you different kinds of people. Because, you know, when Kim first lay down on her bolster, I thought, what the heck is she doing? You know, because I would never have thought that. But once I did it, I realized, like, what kind of release that she needed. So always remember that, you know, if you just listen, your body will tell you. Just got to listen and believe that it actually has something to say. All right, so we're going to go into a forward bend. You can use the bolster if you want. So tuck your toes, press back, pull your kneecaps up, roll the thighs in. Just see what that feels like. If you don't need your bolster, put your hands on the floor. If you have one of those really nice long forward bends, walk your hands back beside your feet. Lengthen your spine and just breathe here. All right. Bend the knees, lift your belly, flatten your back, and come to vertical. All right, grab your bolster.
Babs says that's tough.
Oh, yeah, I know, Babs, it is tough. It's really tough. But I'll tell you what. So Babs said it's tough, but you know, I know Babs is a hiker. What that is going to do for you as a hiker is the next time you step your leg like up on a rock and try to, you know, climb up there and straighten that leg, you're going to feel the outside of that hip and you're going to realize that all of that work we just did just really enables those kinds of movements to happen. All right, so we're going to put our right knee back on top of the bolster, and you're going to put your foot up against the wall. All right, now actually I'm going to run over here and get a chair. Some of you might want to use a chair. Some of you can use blocks. It just depends. All right, so we're going to come down here. We're going to put our knee on the bolster. And we're going to come up to vertical. Oh, wow. Today I'm going to need this chair. I'm just going to put it here. My quad is screaming. All right, so my foot's up against the wall. My shin is up against, well, it's the railing for me. All right? And as I come to vertical, I feel a really intense pull from the outside of my knee up to my hip. My left leg is bent, and I'm using that leg to push with. Now, why do I have my chair here? So that I don't have to fight so hard, right? So I can just push with my hand onto the chair. You know, maybe I'm not going to need it. Actually, what is kind of nice is to just be able to kind of rest here and push. Now, I'm sure that Corey and Patty are just like their shoulders and their head are up against the wall and they're flat. And I am not flat, and I'm sure that Ron isn't flat. I don't know about the rest of you that I can see. So why would you do this? Because this quad stretch is really effective. In my flexibility intensive, we did this Thursday night. And if you don't do this on a regular basis, unless you have those nice lengthened quads, then, it's challenging. But what happens is as we hold this, it just starts changing actually rather quickly. And why do you want these nice long quads? Well, the quad, it contributes to a forward pelvis. If your the top of the quad, the rectus is tight, it's going to pull the front of the pelvis down for you. If the quads, like the quads and the hip flexors can really, do this pull constant without you even realizing, pulling the pelvis into an anterior tilt. And then if you want to, do things in yoga that require, like the pigeons and splits, this quad needs to lengthen. I find this to be a very effective, safe way. You can stay here for a really long time and just let that quad go. Yeah, so yesterday, a couple people had to start with their shins on the ground. Like they couldn't even put their foot down and come up part way. But then as we held this, the quad just kept adjusting, and everybody got up to vertical. And I have some people in that room that are over 70, which is fabulous. It's such a great thing to be able to teach such a wide range of ages and watch everybody improve. All right, so we have a minute to go. So if you are one of those bendy people, put your head on the wall and then bend that front knee a bit and slide your head down to your foot. All right, so working on some of the advanced pigeon movements, I'm just going to push against my chair and I'm going to push my back a little bit closer to the wall. Now for those of you, again, that have nice long quads, your heel is on the outside of your hip, just like you would be positioned in a half hero laying down. That's kind of why I did that. All right, so just push it up. We have 30 seconds to go. Just enjoy that as best as you can. And this is one of those ones that if you put it into your routine a couple times a week, you will definitely get result. All right, now we're going to come out of this by coming down slowly. So bend that knee, move your chair if you have it. Come all the way down to your elbows. Let your hip drop a bit. And then just slide onto your chest. And then roll. And come up and then straighten that leg. So usually I come up to a forward bend. There I just kind of rolled off because that's one way to do it. You can also come up to a forward bend, but what you want to do is just get that leg straight. So I'm going to then come into a forward bend, or it can be a down dog, kind of halfway in between. The idea is we just want that leg to be straight.
Said that Warrior 3 was tough.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Cheryl, that Warrior 3 is really tough. This is actually a nice stretch if you have it. If you don't have it, then, so for me, this is way worse than that Warrior 3. All right, so other leg. Knee down. And come up. So my right quad is quite a bit tighter than my left. So I don't really need this on the chair on this side. So I'm just gonna use my hands on my thigh. Now, you know, you use your hands and your foot or the chair to just keep your chest going back against the wall or the railing, in my case. And then we just get to a place where we feel it, and we just stay here. Now, you can work this, and see now on this side I'm thinking about working it, because on the other side all I could do is deal with it, right? I could just barely deal with it. Here I can work it, so I can take my sit bone and drive it down into my knee, lift the front of my pelvis, get more of a quad stretch, you know, push my back up against the railing. That's still not that easy for me, but at least I'm vertical. And we're breathing. And we're enjoying this. Yeah, so that's 2 minutes, and see, I can feel my quad just let go a little bit more. Okay, now if you're one of those bendy people, right? Put your head against the wall, bend that front knee, and then slowly start sliding your head down to your foot. And the rest of us are just going to do a little bit more effort of your shoulders or your head closer to your wall. It's only a minute, and we're 20 seconds into it already. So just keep easy push, easy breathe. There's 30 seconds. Last 5 seconds. And we're going to slowly come on down to our elbows. Let that hip drop down. Slide forward onto your chest. Just relax here. And then either roll to the side and come up, tuck your toes, and then just easy press back, down dog or forward bend. Pull the knee up. And then just come on down. And sit. Yeah, so feels pretty good. All right. Excuse me. So we're going to do a series of half handstands. And today, I'm going to try, I don't know if I'm going to make like the minute. So we're going to hold them for a minute, or you can hold them for 15 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you just the timing, and you hold them as long as you want. But remember, if you don't do these on a regular basis, that's one thing about this 4-week intensive. I've been focusing on not like hand balances. We've been doing a lot of wrist stuff. So like right now, my wrists feel pretty good. Actually, they feel really good. We've been doing a lot of work, arm work, sidearm balances, planks, all of that. And so you should feel, pretty strong. Now the thing about the hand balances is that you have to go at it slowly. So we're going to put our hands down, walk our feet up the wall just halfway. All right? And then on the second and the third round, we'll stretch one leg into the middle. That I find actually even easier than just kind of walking up. And you'd like to be at a 90-degree angle. So you're trying to get your hips over your hands. That is kind of scary. And if you haven't done these, just walk your feet up the wall, But remember, if you can't keep your mind with you, then you're not ready to do it. What does that mean? As you're walking your feet up the wall, you should be able to stay with the sequence that you're setting up. You should be able to feel your hands. You should be able to feel your feet walking up the wall. You shouldn't have that like panicky blackout moment, right? Not that you pass out, but it's this, you disconnect your mind from what it is that you're doing. All right, so our hands are going to go down. And I'm going to move my blankie because I don't need this. And you're going to walk your feet up the wall. Lift your hips up. And breathe. Push up. "15 seconds. "30 seconds. "45 seconds. And 1 minute. Come on down. And sit. Breathe. Yeah, feels good. I'm going to sit here for a whole minute. Didn't bother my wrists. I can feel it in my shoulders though. And for those of you that are with me for the Foundations Intensive, we've done way more shoulder work than whole arm work. We added the 10 half rod push-ups this week. But we've done all of that work with the shoulders going forward, all that plank work, all those sidearm balances. So I feel plenty strong to be able to do this. But, you know, as that time pushed towards that minute, you know, I could feel my shoulders starting to tire out. All right, so we're going to do 2 more. Now on this one, going to walk up, same thing, and then we're going to stretch our right foot towards the center of the room, with the right foot off the wall. If you don't want to do that, just keep both feet on the wall. It actually is a lot easier than you think. It's for me, I think it's easier than keeping my hips, you know, over my hands. And then again, I'm going to give that timing. I don't think I'm going to be able to make the minute though. So hopefully I can just get to 30 seconds because I want to do 3 of them. All right, I want to get my other leg up. So hands down, walk your feet up. And right leg up. Breathe. "15 seconds. "30 seconds. "45 seconds. And 1 minute. Calm down if you're not already down. I made 45. Stay there. Wiggle the wrists. Breathe. Nothing like handstands though, right? All that blood rushing to your head, you feel good, your arms are tired, your whole body's working. Work feels good. All right, here's the last one. If you're done and you don't want to do the last one, turn around, lay on your back, throw your feet up the wall, and corpse. All right. Here we go. Last one. And up the wall we go. And left leg up if you're going to do it. Breathe. "15. 30. 45. 1 minute. Come on down. Roll onto your backs. Corpse or feet up the wall. Throw the arms to the side. And breathe. Big inhale. Exhale, roll to your right side. And come up to sitting. All right, everybody.
I said phew.
What a beautiful romp, right? Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. And enjoy the day. Namaste.